It's nice and snappy. He doesn't spend all the time in the air. It's just a good fight. I don't know if I like freezing whatever the other Legiana screeching that much, but base Legiana I think is a good fight. But yeah, I talked to Bear, so now I know I'll be carried. Yeah, I saw everyone's going back to World. I've thought about doing it myself, but I don't really want to go back to my world. I want to go to make a new save, maybe on PC. So, I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. I'll have to figure out a way that I want to approach playing World again. But we better think about getting ready for Sunbreak. Really, it's not that far away. So I better look at dates and things like that so we can plan the next month. We've got a lot of gaming to do. Speaking of gaming, let's jump into the news. It's news time. Welcome in, everyone, to the news for the 22nd of May, 2022. I don't know why I need to say the year. Everyone knows what year it is. So, it's news time. Hey, Eggs, welcome on in. I already pre-ordered Sunbreaker. It's the deluxe edition, dude. Oh, man, I need to look at it. I have to remind me, Superman. I keep forgetting to look at pre-ordering. Very cute. Thank you. All right, let's jump on in. So, like I mentioned, there isn't a crazy amount of news this week in terms of stand-outish. There's a decent amount of news, but there's nothing that's really striking hard. And I would say that we're probably in that weird period before the announcements of June for all the events and everything like that. I'll be on your butt. You better be. But we'll start off with the general news. As always, bit of a weird one to start off with. I should have put this one further in, but I did move it. Seaman is ASMR will provide soothing audio for stressed people. This one is very strange. So if you've never played Seaman, if I ever did my weird collection games like I used to do, I probably would have eventually gotten to this game. If you've never heard of Seaman, this is a bizarre Dreamcast like raising game with a man-fish thing. It's a creepy game that's very weird and kind of disturbing, and they've now made ASMR for it. So if you want, you can go get this. It seems to be like an ASMR thing, and I don't know, it looks like they've got like a QR code. So if you really want, you might be able to look up this thing, and I don't know who would want this. If you've heard the voice that comes out of this guy, I don't know if this is okay. This is a worrying thing to see, but very strange. Sus Seaman. Seaman. If you've never seen Seaman, please go look up a video of it. Go look up a playthrough. Joel from Vinesource did a playthrough forever ago, and yeah, some very strange stuff happened here. I think it was a VA was FR. Wait, really? Wait, as in Spock, like the actor from Star Trek. It's in. I don't know who the English one was, but the Japanese one was a different voice, but it was very creepy. It's a very creepy game. But yeah, if you really want to get that, someone will want to play that, I think. Digimon news. Oh man, this one came out of nowhere, and it was like bizarre because it's one of those like Digimon Survive has been such a pain in my bum to try and find news sometimes because it's just there's been so little of it. But this one was at RuliCon 2022, which is a very strange like place for it to sort of appear for something we've been very hungry for. Publisher Bandai Namco and developer Hyde, which by the way, Hyde is the new people that are taking over for the development of this game because Bandai Namco's internal team seemingly was having problems and they got taken off the project and they were giving it to new group, which seems to have gotten a lot more progress and development, and it seems like it's on track, hopefully. because the release date is pretty soon. It's looking for July 29th. So as a big Digimon fan, pretty excited. But it's not a crazy amount of new footage in here. I'll jump to it. There's a lot of, look how clean this looks. Look how pretty and high res everything is here. And I would say that this is exciting to see because this looks modern. This looks good. We haven't really had a Digimon game like this at all, in terms of like a visual novel sort of style. And we haven't really had one with this style of tactical gameplay. But it shows off some of the gameplay. It looks cute enough. It's kind of live 2D sort of style animations. Again, as I mentioned, all of this being hand animated does mean that it does take a long time for all the different Digimon to be made and managed. This is a lot of new assets. I still cannot understand for the life of me why they did this, but people were very excited by this because this little cut here has the first Digivolution of Agumon into Greymon, which, as you can see, it does the iconic pose of Greymon and his trainer. But yeah, not a lot of footage, but there's a little bit more in terms of combat and stuff, and I'm just always excited to see some new stuff. Looking sharp and professional. Thank you, Eggs. I try my hardest. Need a new shirt. I've had the shirt for a while. Battle Simulator joins... Wait, this is a weird phrasing for this. Battle Simulator joins Stranger in Paradise mission list in 1.04. Chat, I tested Stranger in Paradise. It works on my PC. This will be the next playthrough I do. I am very excited to play this. I cannot stress how much I'm excited to play this. This game is dumb. The opening is so strange. I cannot stress how the opening of this game is very strange. But one thing I noted was a couple of graphics and certain things that kind of look like they were almost inside the mainframe, like a digital sort of landscape. I don't know what that meant. I don't know if that is something or if it's just the assets they're using to convey, like going between different game mode things. But a battle simulator. Now, if you've played Final Fantasy VII Remake, there is a battle simulator in that game which allowed you to redo battles and things like that and do challenges and things. But that was specifically in a VR space. I don't know if this game is trying to go for that. So I don't know if this is kind of spoilery for story stuff. It is a very bizarre game. It's a weird mishmash of Final Fantasies. But I'm looking forward to this. The patch sounds like it fixes some more problems for PC and just across the board. And it sounds like for someone like me who's played a shit ton of Neo, challenge battles are fun, and I'm kind of looking forward to this. So if you want to break down the full notes, there's some more here, but I'm going to try and not read too much just because of spoilers for myself. So we will get to hopefully enjoy this sometime soon. Speaking of Final Fantasy, this one is a little weird. So if you guys know these faces, you will know what this is about. Second FF7 First Soldier livestream will appear this week. Who cares about that? First Soldier, I cannot care less about that game. This is a man with a machine gun. Oh, sorry, Man with a Mission. I always get their name wrong. So Man with a Mission is a very famous Japanese rock band. And they've done a lot of openings for anime and things like that. A lot of people will probably know them. Their thing is the wolf head motif and in a suit. But they're getting put into First Soldier. It sounds like Man with a Mission has had a lot of crossovers with various different games in Japan. But this is the first one that I think sort of is coming to the West-ish. And to such a degree, this is kind of weird to see. Like, congrats to them. I mean, I don't know how much they care about like Final Fantasy, but like they're actually in a game, which is quite bizarre. So I'll never play this game, I don't think, but it's just funny to see this. But yeah, they've got a lot of crossovers in this game. This game has had so much they're trying to pump into it. They're really trying their hardest to make people want to enjoy this game. But honestly, I have no idea if this is even doing well sales-wise, but we'll see. Second wave of Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak videos is out, so we're probably going to see the last of them in the next few days. If you've been following the Monster Hunter YouTube and Twitter and stuff like that, they've been putting out the videos essentially to show us some of the new sort of weapon skills for each of the weapon types. I've only really watched the Greatsword. The others seemed okay. I think I'll consume that sort of via everyone else who's playing the weapon, and then they'll tell me, because it's one of those things that if you've ever played GU, there is no way I'm going to remember every weapon's different skill setup because there's so much, and I feel like that's what they're trying to approach with this game. So we'll see. I don't think we're going to get GU levels of how many different ways to play, but I do think that we're adding some functionality that makes it a bit more interesting. As an example, the Greatsword is getting a faster swing setup, which could open up some possibilities to certain things. There seems to be a forced knockdown that they might have, and the one that I'm excited for, which is straight up multi-hitting counters. So you can parry out multiple hits and then return the damage, which might be fucking insane. That might be so bonkers on the Greatsword and might be the meta, depending on how much damage reduction it gives you. But yeah, if you're a fan of Monster Hunter, I'm assuming you've probably already seen these videos, but if not, head over to the Monster Hunter YouTube and go check out some of the cool shit. And there will probably be some new ones in the next coming days because they don't have too long to get some of these announcements out before the next live stream that they will probably have to do for the game. So not that long away, chat. Not that long away. I think it's June 30th. So we literally have a month and a week before the release of this game. So I might have to jump into some Monster Hunter. I might have to ramp up. It's been a while. Been a while. New DNF trailer, DNF Duel trailer shows story mode, gallery, and glossary. I think this game might be like quite cool. I don't know if it's going to be for hardcore fighting game fans, but I don't know if this game's going to be for hardcore fighting fans, but it's definitely going to be for DNF fans who love their world and everything like that. But it's different for a storytelling mode for Axis, but I don't know. It has very much Korean. If you ever played Korean MMOs, it kind of has Korean MMO sort of vibes to a lot of the character designs and stories and stuff like that. Because I've never played DNF, but I feel like I'd be on board. I feel like this is anime dumb enough that I would probably really enjoy this. So very short trailer, but I imagine that when this comes out, this will actually do decently well. So that's coming out June 30th. Unfortunately, as I said, Monster Hunter is coming out, so don't expect me to probably be playing this for a while, because I'll be spending a lot of time in Monster Hunter. Babylon's Fall Season 2 will add a new weapon type and limited event. They are still moving forward. So Babylon's Fall is doing very poorly. I cannot stress how badly this game is doing. I have not heard anyone say any good things about this game. And they've kept to their word though. It sounds like the amount of content they made for multiple season passes they did actually do it. And it sounds like they're trying to push forward. I don't know if this is a good idea or why they're really doing this, but they're trying, I mean, to their benefit. We kind of really want to see this with video games, where they do try to fix up the problems and work on it and all that. But it's, as you can see here, stated by the team, will continue to push on and add more fixes and adjustments for Babylon's Fall. I don't know if they could ever get to a point where people will accept this game. I honestly think they need to reduce the price. I really actually wanted to play this, but from what I've heard of how it is not worth paying full price for a game that you do need multiplayer of components to it to make it feel full. And if no one else is playing it, there's not really much point. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't have a huge amount of confidence in this particular project. Square's notable for sometimes dropping projects, and this is Platinum Games' new team's first major project. So it's not got a good recipe going on, unfortunately, but we'll see. Hopefully we some major changes, or something that really pushes it into the space of people accepting it. One Piece Odyssey battle gameplay screenshots have been revealed. So I'm looking forward to this. You guys know I'm a big One Piece fan. And some One Piece games have been really good, such as the Pirate Warriors series. If you've ever played them, they're very, very good. But this is a different developer. This is actually the developer that is worked on the Pokemon remakes, ironically. This game looks good. It's basically Dragon Quest. And it's got a shit ton of Oda designs for monsters and things like that. But we actually have gotten a few screenshots of the actual battle systems. And it's certainly an RPG, chat. I see me a big old RPG, and it looks stylish, I will say. The UI looks really jamming. This is one of those things where if the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes were not that well accepted or very good, looking at this, if this was in development at the same time, this really got the focus. Pokemon must have got shafted or something, or Pokemon Company did not provide this team enough money and Bandai Namco did. Something weird has happened at the same time with these two projects, but this actually looks quite nice. I'm actually kind of excited. I'm fingers crossed that this is a good game, but yeah, that's our first in-glimpse. What is this? I won't watch that during the news, Zigzagoon, but thank you for the link. I might have to watch it later. But yes, this is looking like a good game. Fingers crossed. Any announcements? Not really. It's kind of a weird set of announcements we have here. But one big one that we were waiting for, which I haven't really seen many people talk about yet, which is the PlayStation Plus Deluxe PS1, PS2, PS3, and PSP games have been revealed. So this is pretty big in terms of like the change in how the PlayStation Plus system is working and what is being provided as a service to people. This is kind of exciting because this is a service that is essentially will allow us to have a library of older games for just having the PlayStation Plus service. It is a new tier that will be associated to it, but they are going to be releasing a whole heap of games. Weirdly enough, they've only announced some of them. They said they were going to announce 80 games for across the platforms. This is not that amount. As you can see here, there is a decent amount here, but not a lot. But the games here are good. Like, there's a whole heap of like ones that I'm actually excited for. Ironically, Intelligent Cube. I don't know if you guys have heard me talk about this game. This was a game I had a demo for that I actually really enjoyed as a kid, and it's so strange to have this memory of a game that people probably have not heard of. Indie Japanese games on the PlayStation 1 were like such a wonder to me. They were so different to so many indie games I had seen, or just games in general I'd seen at that time. Ape Escape, which CJ is probably excited for. We have a few others: Mr. Driller, Tekken 2, Worms Armageddon, and Worms World Party. That's a good get. Then we have over here on the we've got on the PS2, we have Dark Cloud 2. I was literally going to play both of these at some point, so that actually works out well for me. Some of these will be really good for me just in terms of replays. Bulletstorm, if you've not played Bulletstorm, this game is amazing. I love Bulletstorm. This is dumb fun. This game is super duper dumb fun. Bit raw in terms of dialogue and like gory and stuff. It's tongue-in-cheek rude, essentially, that game. But yeah, BioShock Remastered, Jack and Daxter the Collection, Harry Potter Collection for Lego. That one, I actually thought it was a Harry Potter collection. I didn't realize it was Lego. Rogue Galaxy, Wild Arms 3, and then over on the PS3, oh my gosh. Guys, some of these are very good gets. Asura's Wrath, Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2, Demon's Souls, Devil May Cry HD Collection, Ico, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2. I don't know what Rain is. That one's weird. Tokyo Jungle. I actually have never played Tokyo Jungle. So I actually have 2 on this list, straight up 3 on this list that I probably will play on stream, which is Tokyo Jungle, Asura's, and Castlevania. So there's some good shit here. But this is only the start. And it's weird because they said that they were going to announce the full list at some point, and but they didn't get around to it. Ico, I'm maybe play Ico on stream one day. I don't know if it's really a great stream game. I love Shadow of the Colossus, but I don't know. Where's Persona 4 Golden? Well, that's true. They haven't got the PSP lists here. Only one PSP game was revealed, and it was Super Stardust Portable. Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know, Superwoman. This is the thing. They said that they were going to announce a lot more than what they've got here, so fingers crossed there hasn't been some sort of problems, or they're waiting to sort of get to a point where they can announce more and more and more and more. Like, I don't know what's really happening here, but fingers crossed that essentially that the list of games here is going to expand dramatically over the next few months, because they've already got a lot of their retro systems in place. They just really need to turn them on, from my understanding. But yeah. Alright, this one was inevitable. Fall Guys goes free to play on June 21st, alongside the launch of the PS5 and Xbox Series X. Oh, and Switch and Epic Stores. It's coming to all the platforms. This took too long, in a sense. Not necessarily free to play, but them coming to the other platforms. This game kind of shot itself in the foot. It had so much momentum, and I'm going to assume that the exclusivity for some of the platforms and how they designed it really restricted their ability to get to the other platforms faster. But this is generally not a good sign. Now, Fall Guys was very much a flavor of the month, I felt like. Unfortunately, I don't think it had staying power. They did try their best to put out new content. They got a lot out there. They got a lot of funding behind them and things like that. And I think they did relatively well, but I don't know if they got the ability to stay in the industry to get that much eyes on them. I don't hear anyone talking about this anymore. I literally can't remember the last time I heard Fall Guys being mentioned, but free to play might be a way to keep it alive for a bit, but really what they need is making levels made or content made by user base so they can have an understanding, I think. And I don't know if they don't think they were intending to add any of that, but yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be curious to see how long this can survive. But generally, oh, here we go. Stage Builder also in development. That's right. I did remember reading that. So yes, that might be the thing that might actually save it. The free to play probably will give it some reboost, but free to play with a stage builder, so then communities actually get involved and get excited, that might be their out. Because they've already put in enough content that people could just play around and make a whole heap of stuff. But if they can get a good level builder going and game mode builder, that could save that game. We'll see. We'll see. Food Review launches Project Try, and that adds a countdown website. So for those who don't know, this is actually from the team who made, where is it? Three Kingdoms? No, where are we? Oh no, where is it? This hasn't got the team. So this is a new JRPG title that looks like it's coming out. It's made by some pretty heavy hitters. It has some OG people from, here we go. So we got Trials of Mana and Chrono Cross's world design, Xenoblade's character designer, the scenario writer from Octopath and Bravely Default. Yeah, it's got some heavy hitters in here. I don't know if this means that they've contracted them or they've stepped away from their like other projects to join this company. But oh my god, this looks very Bravely to me. But yeah, this could be fun. I'm always keen to see what some of the OG, well, not necessarily OG, but the very masterful hands for JRPG developers can do when they come together for projects like this. So, Project Try, I don't know necessarily what this could even entail. It looks like a Tails logo just looking at that, but I don't think it is anything to do with Tails. So, we'll see. We'll see. All right, upcoming events. Not a lot, but there is one in particular that I think a lot of people will be excited for. Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary news will appear in June 2022. So, we will very likely get news for Remake 2. Do not know if we're going to get any time frame anytime soon around this, but the fact that Final Fantasy 16 is very likely going to release either the end of the start of next year or end of mid next year or something like that, it sounds like. This is going to be relatively soon. It sounds like this team has actually pushed forward a lot faster than when it originally was inception. And it's probably because they figured out what 7 Remake needed to be. They figured out what they wanted it to be, where they want to go, and that probably led them down the road of how they're going to make the future content. Midgar was funny because it's a very closed loop, but I don't know how they're approaching the new stuff with how fields and stuff. I'm assuming it must be a very Final Fantasy 13 thing, but really, I would love to see essentially more. I want to see what they actually intend to do post Midgar, and I'm really hoping if Final Fantasy VII Remake 2 is at this anniversary event, which very likely it is, what they will show. Hopefully, they show how the systems work. There's a new Final Fantasy game. There's always a new Final Fantasy game. NC, I will tell you that there is always a new Final Fantasy game. It'll never go away. Hey Wolf, how you doing, man? Thank you for the raid. How you doing? Welcome on in. How was stream? Oh my god. That's our boy. That's our boy Majima. I'm a big fan.
There should be a clip on the stream feed.
Yakuza is so amazing, by the way. If people have not played Yakuza's humor is so on point a lot of the time. It's so good. We played Bladestorm, Nightmare, and Division 2. Hell yeah. You had a good time? We're just midway through the news. We're talking about the Final Fantasy VII remake. Fingers crossed it will be announced there. We're also, Ever Crisis, and First Soldier is probably going to get more news there, which, again, First Soldier, whatever. Season 3 already. We're already on Season 3. That's madness. But Ever Crisis, I'm curious about when its launch window is, but I just want to know more details about it. I want to know if it's the type of game I will pick up. Yeah. All right. Next up, PC Gaming Show 2022 set for June 12th. Now, the PC Gaming Show is never the biggest of the events, but it usually is where we will see a lot of pickups and we will see a lot of various different bits and pieces in terms of indies and things like that. A lot of the ones that they'll probably be more PC based, as the title suggests. But looks like we've got a few little things in here they've mentioned. So Clay Entertainment, so the makers of Don't Starve, Arma 4, Sambaro, Alex, new gameplay for the ambitious mod. Oh, there's a mod project called Half-Life Alex Leviation. I didn't end early because I was having... Oh no, that's no good, Wolf. Well, you gotta look after yourself. Make sure you have a rest and make sure things don't get worse. it'll be after so no one get distracted. Yeah, so I generally don't look at stuff during the news and see, but you can send me a link if you'd like. June 2nd, that's my affiliate anniversary. Oh, exciting, Carter. You can do like a celebration. And looks like we are also going to get Warhammer 40,000 and some Victoria 3 stuff. So there is some stuff there. Again, like I said, not the biggest heavy hitters, but generally there is some pickups there at the PC Gaming Show. So we'll probably see around June 12th is probably when we're going to see a lot of stuff. A lot of announcements. All right. Leaks and spoilers. So again, these are never super heavy. I don't go too hard into the real leaks and spoilers, but Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrad trademark has been filed ahead of the June announcement. So we were talking about Final Fantasy VII's event just before. It is to pair with this. We are finding that there is some trademarks going down, which very likely means we are going to see more content in relation to this. So hard to say if it's update to Intergrad or if it is going to be seeing more changes in relation to that, but it very much seems that they're prepping something with Remake 2, which we will see. By the way, there have been a lot more ads like this recently. I just have to say, there's ads on YouTube that have just been populating more and more. It's kind of crazy. Wait, Queen's Blade? Why does that sound familiar? Isn't that like that really old anime? I feel like it's a really old anime. Anyway, so yeah, we'll keep an eye out for that. So Final Fantasy VII news on the way. This one is weird. I almost put this in business. TikTok is testing gaming functionality. What? So, TikTok. I don't know how this works, but supposedly it's confirmed routers have tested HTML5 games with its app. So I don't know if they're Facebookifying TikTok, but they're trying to incorporate gaming into it, and I don't know really what that means. But tests have been run in Vietnam for users to play games through its app. So you might see some stuff popping up around that, and it's just another form of monetization. Again, it'll probably be more of like mobile gaming stuff, or very light game, not real gaming, but who knows, there might be some crossovery stuff at some point because of it. It's an old adult anime. Thank you, Wolf. Yeah, I thought that name sounded familiar. Norman Reedus reveals Death Stranding sequel is in production. So we have theorized this for so much. There have been various different things that have been teased around this. It looks like it's probably true. Norman Reedus, for some reason, has come out and said that he is working on the sequel. I don't know if how happy Kojima will he be about this announcement, because usually he likes to tease out his stuff. Yeah. They said start recruiting for a new project. Like, we know that they've been working on some stuff. They've been bringing in various different people. But yeah, it's kind of strange that this has kind of happened. Again, I wonder if Norman Reedus has done something Kojima is probably not too thrilled with. But we'll see. We'll see. Or it could be all a bait and switch. Who knows? Maybe Kojima told Norman Reedus to say this and it's actually false. But like, you never know with Koji Pro, I'll be honest. So even though this is pretty almost direct, it feels like maybe a grain of salt still. Norman Reedus and the Funky Fetus 2, the Dead Ghost Babies Rise Again. Man, please. I would love that to be the title of the game. Cross media time. Actually have a few cross medias here, which is friggin' bizarre. And don't worry, the last one is the strangest of them all. Cyberpunk Edge Runners anime comes to Netflix. I didn't even know this was coming, by the way. So Cyberpunk, I still know I've played this. The game sounds still in a state that it's not that enjoyable to play because of how broken it is. But it's one of those things where this makes sense, getting an anime. It took them a bit long to do it, and it has some pretty big names related to it. So who knows if this will be any good, but my imagine is that they're they're not. It's not a long series. I don't know if have they got a. Is it a series of episodes or is it just an OVA? But it's. Hopefully this is cool at least looking. I want this to just be at least cool looking, and it probably will be more enjoyable than some of the cutscenes in the actual game itself. But fingers crossed, this is just some dumb thing. I do like cross media like this. They're expensive projects to just establish because I feel like they don't end up hitting too many people, and I don't know how many people it will bring into Cyberpunk, but I'm always a fan of these sorts of cross media. Episode 1 of Pokemon Legends Arceus anime, Hisuian Snow is out. So if you're a Pokemon fan, if you're a fan of Legend of Arceus, go head over to the Pokemon YouTube channel. There's a short, they're not very long, it's like 6 minutes. It's just a cute little animation with some nice art style, and this will be an ongoing series for a little bit. So this is, I think, again, just to encourage people to subscribe to the YouTube channel, but it's cute. I watched it, I thought it was just nice and adorable, and I want to see where this goes. I think it'll be interesting to see how they sort of approach this sort of form of storytelling, because I feel like they haven't done a longer form story for a while with unique characters. It's been a lot just in the anime itself, like the TV show, which is a completely different kettle of fish. Okay, this was not something I was expecting to talk about at all. Here is some big spoiler warnings if you care about the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie. This is strange. This is doing like this is hitting people in different areas. Apparently, people actually think this might be a good movie. I just really palm this off as to be whatever movie, but yeah. This movie has a decent amount of money behind it, and I'm getting rated. So I'm going to hold off talking about it just for a moment to give people warning of people just coming in. But I'll shout out Duos. Hey Duos. Hey man, how was stream? How was what were we doing? Shit, Revengeance. Hell yeah. What's happening?
Yeah.
What's happening?
No.
You're dead.
No.
You're dead, son.
Just kidding, I got it.
What was that? Was that a sound effect of Duos over himself? Hey man, how you doing? Hey Queenima. How you doing? Welcome in, Raiders. I'm gonna give you a fair warning. We were literally about to talk about spoilers for the Chip and Dale movie, because of a very weird thing that's happened. Of course, there's a spoiler on screen right now, but again, I don't know anything about this movie really. I wasn't gonna go watch it. I was not interested. But there's a weird thing that has occurred in this movie that I cannot quite understand why this has happened. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie features a Sonic the Hedgehog. What? So Chip and Dale is a Disney IP. That wasn't sound effects, that was me. Duos. This is very strange. It says a Sonic the Hedgehog for a particular reason. So Sonic recently had a new movie come out, or recently had its sequel to its movie. However, there was another version of Sonic in the original movie. This is bizarre. This is the strangest crossover I have seen in a while. And it is very weird. Again, fair warning on a spoiler here if you don't want to see it. But this is the clip. Oh, this has been muted. I can't. Okay, we're not getting the audio. So there is talking audio. But there it is. For some reason, I have no idea how they got the rights to do this, and the fact that they seemingly got the model. I'm going to assume that the 3D artists that worked on this movie must be the ones who made Ugly Sonic. I don't know how this has happened. I don't know how Sega has approved this. I don't know how Apparently this movie has a huge amount of weird crossovers in it, and they must have burned so much money to get these IPs. But they didn't only get Sonic, they got Ugly Sonic, and then they turn it into a bit. Sonic looks worse now. This is definitely an altered version of it. It's not the same one. But look at it. It's very weird. And look at all these screenshots and things. Like, what is happening? Disney burning bridges. Disney doesn't care. Disney owns the world. They could do whatever they want. But there's a longer like cut with audio here. There's
You got a Snoopy ear!
Yes, Ugly Sonic, his ear is hilarious, but do you have a contact at the FBI? Because we have some highly dangerous and classified information for them.
Yeah, of course. I know tons of
It's
people
very
at the
crunchy
FBI.
footage.
I'm making a TV show with them.
Look, we really need your help, but we don't have a lot of time.
Oh, you want me to go fast? That's Sonic's thing. Ugly Sonic goes slow,
So you're not gonna help
So so I didn't realize the Chip and Dale. So the other one, I think it's Dale. I think Chip is the 3D one. Dale is he's actually 3D as well. If you haven't noticed, he seems to be cell shaded. But yes, there's a lot of focus on Sonic's mouth in this. But yeah, this is bizarre. This is a very weird thing. I don't know who thought this was a good idea. It's a weird bit. It's taken me by surprise. And I don't know why this has got association. And it's just, it seems to be, they must be at some sort of animation sort of collective thing, I'm guessing. But Nightmare Fuel, very much so. So we're going to scar some kids with this movie, with Sonic, apparently. This seems like a bad idea. I don't know why Sega signed off on this. But I still can't understand. I mean, this is retweeted. Look, this is retweeted or tweeted by... Oh, it's Sonic the Hedgehog blog. I thought this was the actual Sonic the Hedgehog one. But there is a... I wonder what the Sega Sonic one will respond to with this. But there it is. This is one of the strangest things I thought I would encounter. And just as a heads up, if you ever go see that movie, or maybe it's a reason to see that movie, because I have no idea how much that character is in that. I'm going to assume that's probably the extent of it, but dang. This got weird. This really got weird. Got a lurk? No prob. Thank you again for the raid, Duos. Welcome on in. And have a good lurky. Money for merch. All right. We're in the merch territory now. Towards the end of this, we've got 2 merch things that are pretty... One's weird, one's super cute. Emil's replicant... Near replicant's ice tray of Emil's head. These look huge. These look really big. Look how big this is. That's a Scotch glass, and that is a giant ice cube. I don't know if I'd need that much ice in my drink, but I kind of do love this, and I know there's a friend of mine who has probably already pre-ordered this. I don't know how much these are. The $21. That's not too bad. That's pretty cheap, actually. But you can get an Emil head in any drink you want from now on. It'd be nice if Chip and Dale looked oddly mature and very Southern American, or is it me? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not like a huge Chip and Dale's fan. I think I watched the OG Rescue Rangers when I was a kid, but it was never really in my brain. So I don't even know how they're supposed to be. But they're cute designs. They're cute Disney squirrels. What are they? Chipmunks? I don't know what they are, but they're cute enough. And it's the humor. I don't know who that movie's for, I guess. I have not looked into that at all, but I guess we'll see if it hits it off in any weird ways. But yeah, but these ice trays, I'm into them. Now, the other one, which is a Kirby Tomica toy, lets him drive a Warpstar. This looks cute as all hell. It's just a little toy, but it's just very cute. I just wanted to bring it to your attention. He's got the little, like, the lollipops as Star as his little push and go, and this is just very cute. It's probably very small, by the way. I think it's a very cheap toy. Yeah, it's only like $6. So yeah, if you want a little Kirby, you can get a little Kirby. Big business. There's not much big business this week, ironically. We've got a lot less lawsuits to talk about at the moment, a lot less things going on, no controversies. I think we can just talk about some big business. There was actually a controversy, but I don't think I grabbed it. But I will talk about at least this one. Blizzard faces postponed class action lawsuit about card packs. This is a very weird thing to have come up while I was covering essentially. I just started replaying Hearthstone, ironically, and I was not expecting this news to come out after me talking about the issues essentially with Hearthstone. So I'm actually enjoying Hearthstone in the sense that there is so much to do. I can't get over just how much there is to do in Hearthstone now. It's very just very free to play friendly in a way. However, there is a weird situation here in terms of looking at card packs, and I've been rolling on free card packs that I've been getting, and what's strange about it was noticing that I've not gotten a single super rare or ultra rare. I can't remember what they're called in Hearthstone, legendaries and epics. And the issue I found with this was I don't actually know the rates. Unlike most gachas these days in card games, a lot of them are very public. They have to be public, particularly in Japan, because you're not allowed to sell over in Japan if you don't have those numbers be public. And yet Blizzard and Hearthstone have not had that, and a lot of Western games don't, and I'm kind of expecting they will have to eventually, and fingers crossed they do. And yeah, it's kind of bizarre, this situation, and it makes sense lawsuits starting to come out. And I don't know if I agree with the lawsuit coming about with this because of how they talk about what actually is happening with it, but it's more of a systems thing and a laws thing that I hope, if anything does go through with some of these lawsuits in the West, is it starts to have them adjust essentially the case scenario of, in the future, games need to have limitations. They need to have these things enforced so they can't have these lawsuits happen again. Though I don't know if they will ever have that come about, and I don't know. Fingers crossed that's what happens with it all. But yeah, gosh, it's kind of crazy that they've gone this long without being slapped on the wrist about a lot of this stuff, because it's not great. What's this, Klunma? My Little Pony? So is this also in it? Hang on. I'm only going to watch this one just because of the fact that it's related to what we were talking about. I generally don't watch clips through the news. So okay, so they must be at an animation convention then. That's also a very expensive IP to have gotten onto. That's crazy. That movie must burn us so much money, Klunma. Crazy. I wonder if someone if someone wants to DM me on Discord with the full list of all the different IPs in it. I am curious because I don't know if I'll ever watch that movie, but it is weird because such a strange thing for Disney to have crossovers for. And the last piece of news for today, I probably should have done these in the opposite order, but decently sized news for the Xbox. The Xbox Series X sales have surpassed the PS5 sales for the first time in Japan. That's mad. So if you guys don't know, in Japan, Microsoft does not do well over there. Historically, they have not, and they have never done well. I still don't think these numbers are probably very large. I'm going to have a look at them now. But what I'll say is the PlayStation is not doing very well in terms of sales in Japan because there is no games and there is no need. Sony is in a weird place right now because they need the next generation. COVID has really, really caused them a bad scenario here. And yeah. So what we can see here is weekly sales. The Xbox Series X sold 6,222 units, while this outstrips the 2,693 PlayStation 5s. The Switch is destroying them, just by the way. Switch is doing so well in Japan. I don't know if they've got total sales, but it means that Microsoft is no longer a joke over there. And I want to say the reason why. Something has changed over the past 5 to 10 years in Japan, and I don't think a lot of people have talked about it a lot. If I were to say the biggest games that are being watched and streamed over in Japan, streaming culture is now huge there. The main games people are watching are Western-made shooters. Things like GTA as well. Those games sell very well. Those games are very also associated to Western platforms, such as the Xbox. So perhaps the stigma has gone and essentially gone away to some degree, and people are willing to. Much love. Thank you for the follow, TP. I appreciate it. Welcome on in. But yeah, so I'm wondering whether or not there is a lot of stigma that's gone away with that, as well as perhaps a streaming / gaming platform that is just accessible and a bit cheaper than the PlayStation. Because remember, this PlayStation still has not got a lot of units out there in the wild that people can purchase. So perhaps people want that next gen box to just be able to have something comfy. So there's not too many games and it's hard to get a PS5. Exactly. I think that this is just, weirdly enough, it's not so much Xbox is doing. I feel like it's a change in culture, and the fact that Sony has kind of had a pretty rough transition into next generation. But we'll see. We'll see as it goes. Again, the further into this year and the end of this year may be the bigger decider around how this generation will go forward. But PlayStation 5 has proven to be the hardest generations for Sony by far, because of everything that's happening in the world. They're the one that's been hit the hardest, I would say, in terms of just progress. But it's possibly really the reason why we're seeing the change in the PlayStation Plus stuff. They needed to make a play, and I think that was a smart play and actually is beneficial for a lot of just Sony owners, essentially. I feel like there's a stigma to liking JRPGs rather than something made by Rockstar or something. What, in the West or in Japan, Klunima? In Japan, JRPGs are just a standard. I mean, you can't understate just how much Dragon Quest sells over there. But JRPGs are definitely not as popular anymore in Japan. But they definitely are one of those things where we're seeing a lot more Western games, a lot more shooters and things like that being popular over there, which is, it's surprising it's taken so long. People have computers in Japan now. Like, people play computer games, and that's a pretty impressive feat for a country that avoided it for so long. Their internet net structure was always so shit for a lot of different things and streaming platforms and stuff like that, but they've bravely moved forward finally, and I think that the PC gaming is no longer shunned as much, and I think it might play a part into this. I only put one for the reasons because it was my birthday and my PS4 was getting tired. Yeah, yes, that's the thing. I understand you getting a Superwoman. I know why I got it, but it's like, I can understand that it's not a console that everyone needs, and we're still not at a stage essentially for people to get a PS5. I don't suggest people getting it just yet. I feel like we've got a lot of room for growth with Sony before I would be like, yep, the exclusives here are worth it, the upgrades are worth it, and the upgrade is still quite costly for just how few there are out there. I haven't been to Japan. You don't have a lot of Japanese friends? Oh, it's okay, Klima. I follow a lot of Japanese media, so I kind of know what's up over there. I follow a lot of Japanese streamers and things like that. So it's like, knowing kind of what's happening over there is always interesting, because it's a very strange dynamic to the West. But that's all the news for today, chat. We had a decent amount there. As always, like I said, today was a weird one because it was like a decent amount of news, but not a lot of hard-hitting news. But we will probably see a ramp up in the next week or two because the announcements are coming. We are probably going to see a lot, and I feel like I hopefully haven't built this up a lot, but from my understanding, there is a decent amount of COVID backlog that's been built up, and we're gonna see it hit a certain point here. At least getting announcements for the end of the year, because holy shit, if you've not looked at the upcoming list of games for the year, it is very, very light. And that is a little concerning considering they need to get those announcements out there. So I feel like either every man and his dog's going to announcement or it's going to be a weird end of year. I will tell you that. All right. I'm going to take a quick break, chat. I'm actually going to eat some food because I haven't eaten lunch just yet. But I'm going to eat some food. I'm going to take a quick break and we will be back very, very shortly for Hollow Knight. Hope you enjoyed the news, guys. I might actually also put some polls up related to the news over on Twitter and Discord. I'll let you guys all know. And so keep an eye out for that if you want to be involved and have some say around how this all goes. And we might change some format stuff in the future. I'm hoping that I heard that Persona 4 Golden will be on PS5 and 4. It should have been a thing by now. Stupid woman. I never forget how bad of a company Atlas is. By the way, I really don't like. It's so strange because Sega's pretty good about pushing some of their companies. Atlas just does whatever they want. They're a wild horse of a company sometimes, and fingers crossed they start giving stuff to the fans that they actually want. I don't know why they limit themselves in the way they do, but who knows? They're probably working on Persona 6, so. Which, that'll be a long project. That'll be a long project. All right, be right back, chat. Go take a break as well. We'll be back shortly.